Hi, welcome back to the channel where we have session 2 of Evil Hat's very awesome Deathmatch Island, but I feel like I need to open with another apology about two things. Number one, the sound quality is still a little bit boomy. I thought I had it fixed and I tested it and then I went live and it just didn't sound all that great. So apologies in advance for a couple of people sounding like they may be in a box at different times during the session. And then a much bigger apology about me just mashing the rules. If anyone from Evil Hat is watching this, especially Tim, the writer, genuine apologies. I was playing this through and I hadn't spent enough time since the last session a few weeks ago refamiliarizing myself with the rules. Man, I just did a lot of it on the fly and I don't know how great it is, but the session itself was super fun. So rule mashing notwithstanding, the primary goal of having fun with my players was achieved. So with all of that said, forgive the audio, forgive my crappy GMing, and enjoy. Hey, welcome back to the second session of Deathmatch Island. I hope you're all doing well out there. The three players in particular I'm talking to there. We have no audience at all, so I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but welcome back. Just to do a quick recap before we jump into the game. You guys have been on an island. I'm going to ask one of you to do a talking head in a second to get the session rolling. But just as a recap, so you came to this island together. You've done a series of challenges. You've seen some people fall to their death. You've had a couple of people try and pull you into an alliance. And then you had just headed north and you'd been going to... You'd found your way to an industrial area, like a port town, right? So you'd headed over there. And as you were getting there, you'd run into three other people. So it was Beckett and a couple of other guys. And you was just starting to figure out what you wanted to do and maybe how you were going to approach this. And then... but that was the klaxon letting you know the something was happening, right? So... you're standing there. There's a couple of these other guys that are standing there. You hadn't noticed them previously, but there are a bunch of kind of like broadcasting units, right? Like radios or tannoys or something. They're at the top of poles here and there, right? So you can hear a voice that starts saying, and it's a female voice, right? And it's one of those very precise, very clipped voices, where they say, the voice says something to the effect of, phase 1 is complete. Congratulations to everyone that survived. Phase 2 begins in 3 minutes when you hear the klaxon sound again. Phase 2 requires that only half of the competitors move on to the next island. So this becomes a battle to the death. You can choose to stay together. You can choose to work on your own. Choose wisely, choose quickly. So with that, and there's like a little bit of feedback in the background, you know, kind of again, like almost like a World War II prisoner of war camp kind of like overhead sound system. So that's kind of where we dropped off last time. So does one of you want to give us a talking head about what you recall and kind of like get us going this time around? I don't know if Bobby the goat herder... and do you guys want to do a reintroduction of your characters, or do you remember very clearly who you are?
I don't remember that much, to be okay. I remember I'm the go-getter. I remember I'm super fast and trying to show off and be a leader.
You are Bobby
even though I might not be one.
Is your name, and you are a goat farmer. And don't forget, you can find your character sheets in the journal. Each of you has one. So... Bobby is a goat farmer. Tim, do you remember who you were playing?
Edgar Powers, office assistant. Beautiful eyes.
Contestant number 50, absolutely beautiful. And Grumster, do you remember who you were?
Yeah, Candace, and I'm a stay-at-home parent.
Absolutely beautiful. So, let's take it from there. Which one of you wants to go? And maybe you could answer this question. So there we were, about to make contact with another group, and this klaxon started ringing. Who wants to summarize kind of where we are and open this up using that as the prompt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we just had gotten up to this industrial port after crossing the gorge, doing the bridge challenge, and putting some distance between us and the posse being led by the renegade cop. And we saw, I think, a group of 3 other survivors who were also armed with firearms, and had a hesitant approach to them, and were basically just starting to talk and all showing each other that our weapons were in relaxed positions and we weren't being hostile, and about to see if we could make some friends when the klaxon went off. And now we're all like, oh crap, it's deathmatch time. We're not really friends yet.
Friends are going to be very hard to make. So thank you for that intro there, Edgar. Bringing us back to the game. So yeah, that's it beautifully. So you are at this industrial town or this port, and you were just making contact with these guys. They are, as you hear, and by the way, I'm just pinging just to remind you, this is where the pin is, right? And so as you guys are listening to what's happening overhead, or the voice on the speaker, it looks like Beckett and his men are kind of nodding and talking to each other. So what is your guys' plan, right? Are you have 3 minutes to get ready for phase 2? Are you going to try and rope these guys in, or what's kind of going through your minds?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still of the opinion that we should try and talk, seeing how big some of the other groups already are. I would like to extend the olive branch here still, and see if we can rope in some allies before we just start dusting people.
Candace and Bobby, what are your thoughts on that?
It's a bad idea, given we're being chased by a huge posse, right?
It's not a bad idea, or it's a bad idea, did you say?
It's not a bad idea, given we're chased by a considerably large force.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree.
Do we know how long we've got roughly before they circumnavigate the creek or cavern, whatever it was called?
No, and it's to break character a little bit, and to kind of go what's going on on your screen. Let me make sure. Yeah, we're on the right screen. So top right, there's a little area that kind of looks like a football field. Do you see what I'm talking about there?
Yeah.
So this is how the battle royale. Yeah, perfect. This is how the battle royale plays out with you guys, right? And there's a bunch of roles that go on here to figure out how this all plays out, and then there's kind of a, I don't want to say a matrix of results, but I'll walk you through as we get there. So when we move to the battle royale phase, and if you wanted to try and rope these guys in, that would take part before we get to the battle royale. So you can do all of this together. You can do all of this alone, whatever you want to do. So what you will be up to is phase 1, you'll be scouting, right? So you'll either be looking for a place to hide, you'll be looking to see where the enemy is, regroup with allied teams, reconnoiter the island, surveil the opposing alliance, infiltrate the other side, appeal to humanity. Those are some of the things that you can do during the scout phase. Then during the scramble phase, you choose whether you're either going to try and seize control of the battle or defend against threats, right? And every competitor gets to do this, right? So unlike previously where there was a role, you're all going to make your own decision. And then we come to the battle royale. Once those first 2 stages, the scout stage and the scramble stage, once they're done, we move into battle royale. So I kind of go back to what I said earlier. If you guys want to recruit these fellas, you can. But you're also going to have to figure out what you want to do and how you want to approach this, right? Are you going to go at this as a group? Are you going to try and split up as you go through these different phases? Are you going to, let's all meet back here at nightfall or whatever? And going back to the question that was asked, how long is this phase? Till half the competition are dead. All right, so with all of that said, did that kind of summarize where we are? And do any of you have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, do we know how far we are behind us? No, I'm just joking. I was just trying to estimate how much time we think we have with these guys before we spot a whole army on the hillside following us down there.
Not anytime soon, right? So, you'd be able to hear if somebody was like super close by, right? There's it's kind of mid-afternoon at this point. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of life on this island except for you guys, right? It seems to be a little bit desolate and deserted. So you think you'd be able to hear if there were large groups of people, but that doesn't mean that individuals won't be sneaking up on you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Questions?
These guys are armed more than we are, or?
No, the same. One of them had Beckett has got a shotgun. The guy behind him has got an assault rifle, right? And there's another guy that's off a little bit further down, right? So Beckett's standing with you guys. His one of his fellas is maybe 15 foot away, and he has an assault rifle. And then there's another guy that they're waving to that against, like maybe 15 foot away. But you can't really see if he's armed or not. He's closer to the buildings.
Well, I'm not at the front. Who was approaching the other guys? Someone was.
Or rather, Edgar was
First
approaching.
time.
Yeah.
So do you want to?
I'll tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, considering that, like, on the other side of the gorge, we passed a sizable group that's already been stockpiling arms and is in the dozens. We greatly increase our chances of getting to round 2 if we start making friends before we start killing people. What do you say? You've got guns, we've got guns. We can all be friends and have guns.
And we get high ground, and we stop them for a little while, but we don't know how long for.
So Becca seems open to it, right? This will be this will be a contest, right? So you're going to have to make a roll here, Tim. And obviously, we can have Grumpster and Grumpy Batterspeed join in and help you with this, and they can kind of, align with the roll and do a group check. But in order to bring this guy on board with you, you're going to have to win him over.
All right. So is this going to be a social check here?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I think, it's going to be a social check. Hey, something else. So I sometimes I jump in and start playing the game before having read the rules fully. So you get a fatigue for every challenge or contest that you take part in, right? So I know this is retconning a little bit, but the person that took, like, the characters that led the challenges both get a fatigue. And if anybody contributed, like rolled an advantage dice for them, they also get a fatigue. And you will get a fatigue for doing this challenge now, Tim, as well. Specifically you, because you are the one leading this.
I think it was my first one, because I don't think I've actually done one.
Yeah, I think one was Bobby and one was Candace, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's have you make a social game check. So click that big old red social button.
All right. Target number?
Yeah, target number is... All right, target number is 9.
Okay. It says occupation die none, or did I just select the one that's mine here, I guess? Because that's the only option.
Yeah, I mean, this is, this kind of goes into the role-playing aspects of this, right? So talk me through how you're winning Beckett and this guy over. Like, what is your talk track? How would you be using, how would your office, let me come at this a different way. How would having been an office assistant help you in this task? Because if you can walk me through and fill in those gaps for me, then you get to use your occupation die.
Yeah, I think just managing personalities and getting people on the same page. Gotta have that team spirit. People working on the same projects, and everybody wants to be in charge, but nobody wants to listen. Yeah, just knowing how to grease the wheels here.
Oh yeah, baby, it's those TPS reports, right? So I think that works for me nicely. So select officer assistant. So this would be where one of the others, if they wanted to help you, like, so if Candace wanted to jump in and could walk me through how he was assisting, you would be able to add another dice to this, another capability dice. And they would have to, again, Candace would have to walk me through what it is, and spend a fatigue together.
Oh, I negotiate children all day long. I'm pretty good at trying to hopefully get people to do what I'm asking them to do.
Actually, my mistake. I'm so sorry again. Like, still learning some of these rules. So that is not you at that point. That's the next phase, right? So, Tim, again, talk me through how you would use them. But if you believe that you could use snake mode, challenge beast, deathmatch, or redacted, how you'd apply that to this challenge, you could roll another dice there.
Yeah, I don't think I would be trying to work that angle here. I don't think any of the rest of these would really apply for me.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah. So no other capability. Now this is where again I think the Candace would be able to help you, right? So wrangling, herding kittens or raising children as a stay-at-home dad probably does give him a few abilities there. So, what is it that you would be doing to help Candace?
Oh, talking about working as a team and trying to solve this problem together. Many hands make light work. And coming down the pike behind us is many more hands than what you currently have. So we need you and you need us.
All right. Beautiful. So let's have you. What is your social game?
D8.
Yeah. So add another D8 to that, Tim.
Roger.
What is
And
it?
spend acquisitions. I don't think we're using any equipment or anything here, right?
Correct. You could correct, but you could give up equipment if you wanted to, right? And the tool track here, because as I'm looking at your character sheet, you have one close combat, one Walther P99, one Remington. So you could hand over and then climbing gear. So, I don't know if they care about climbing gear, but if you handed over that close combat weapon or the Walther, that could count as a trust or as an advantage. An acquisition. That makes sense?
Yeah, because I think we gave Bobby a pistol and Candace hasn't wanted one.
I've got close combat and climbing gear.
Okay,
But he doesn't know how to use a pistol, remember?
Oh yeah, okay. So I'm literally carrying 3 weapons.
Just swinging it around. Yeah.
Nobody else is armed with anything but knives. Okay, in that case, yeah, I'll give up a freaking pistol. That I don't need to carry all this.
All right, beautiful.
So what do you put in that box or spend acquisition? Just put 1?
1d4.
1d4, okay. Wow, that was a garbage roll.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So there, and what did you give up there? What were you giving him?
One of the Walter P99 pistols.
Yeah. So, you're offering it to him, but he doesn't want it, right? Like he starts to back away, and Beckett nods to the guy with the assault rifle, and they kind of, he then nods to the guy that's further away, as if to say, "Hey, let's head on. We're not stepping around here, right?" So, whatever you were doing there wasn't working, right? You're trying to win him over, just didn't come together, right? And so, you do get to add one new follower box in the good news, right? Because you failed. But that's the scant good news that we have here. So these guys start to head away, and this is all within the 3 minutes, right? So even though you felt you were making a good case, they think you sound like liabilities, and they're going to head on their own.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, well done, Oscar. You obviously don't have the social skills that you thought you may have for this kind of stuff. Or Edgar, sorry, I should say, not Oscar, sorry.
So I don't mind failing, but I don't understand how we got just a 5, because I'm seeing 2 dice that are lit up. You only get the best 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay, never mind.
Top 2 results and add them up.
Gotcha, never mind then. I understand now.
Hey, so saying that though, where do you see the dice roll?
So if you hover over the 5, you can see what was rolled.
Okay. Yeah, that sucks. So they start backing away, right? They're not interested, right? And slowly, not particularly threateningly, but obviously intended to cover their backing away or their escape from this situation. Both of these guys start pointing their weapons at you, right? And again, it's not in a, hey, we're going to shoot you. It's more in a, they start backing away and their guns train on you almost like a warning not to follow.
So, new rule, everybody. Let's not try and coerce anybody that is failing dismally.
Yeah, let's play smart.
Yeah. So, how much high ground is there here?
Like, significant amount of high ground, right? So, if you... Where you
Can we get picked off from the hill? Because that was the highest part, right? Where we were
say
before.
that again.
The radio mast was the highest point, right?
Correct. There's some of these other areas back over here that are probably as high, right? And, maybe over here as well. But yeah, the radio mast that you just came from, that I mean, arguably, logically, seems to be the best place that you could get to, or the highest ground that you can get to now. Let me put it that way.
Well, we don't have rifles, do we? So we're not going to be...
We've got a shotgun, 2 pistols, and we've got 1 person who's even comfortable shooting guns. So we might be better off staying in this port and finding a place to hide. Set up an ambush if we can.
I face the camera and say, you only need a knife, and give them the eyebrow raised. And then walk off. Guerrilla tactics it is. But we could still do with something, right?
Well, wait, what do you mean? I like the idea. I'm not a player, but I understand the idea of like, hey, heavily built up areas, scant weapons. Let's see if you can kind of stage an ambush here. Did I understand that correctly, Tim?
Correct. Yeah, that's the basic idea.
Big group behind us, though, right? We'd need to pick off the surrounding ones.
Yeah, well, there are. You don't know. Again, like this is. You don't know how many total people are on the island. But you think it's in the hundreds, right? You don't know how many big groups there are. There might be multiple groups. You've seen one of them, right? But like there might be multiple of these groups. There might be like just dozens of smaller groups as well. So you don't really know what's coming down the pike or what to expect. All right, so scout phase is the first phase. So it sounds like, if I'm understanding correctly, it's you're gonna kind of search in this area and look for the best place to stage an ambush. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, finding a good place to hide, a good place to set up an ambush. Just looking for any of those options in the port. Yeah.
Okay. So. Okay, so challenge is 10 for this. You will all be taking part in this, by the way. So let's have you all bring this up. And this, I think, is going to be probably snake mode. I mean, it could be challenge beast, but I think this is probably going to be snake mode. Does anyone disagree?
No, it seems accurate.
I could see snake mode or maybe deathmatch, because it mentions tactics and strategy in deathmatch.
Oh yeah, I know. I could totally be talked into that. I could totally be talked into doing deathmatch. I think that. I mean, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Don't think it matters for me. They're the exact same role anyway. But yeah, I could see it being either.
All right, so I do think it will be deathmatch. So let's have you all. You're all going to want to roll this.
Have I got to roll deathmatch, or can I roll?
Yeah, no, it's deathmatch for all of you.
Yeah. Well done, Tim. You talked us out of getting a bonus for me.
All right, well, you
Stop
might
talking,
get a bonus
Tim.
if you think your job as a goat herder, if you want to use your occupation guy.
No, I don't think it comes in, does it?
Did you call out a target number?
Yes, 10.
I think I could argue the occupation, trying to spring a trap to capture the children to do what I want them to do.
So would that be challenge beast, or what would you be doing there?
No, it doesn't matter. If it's not social, then it doesn't really matter, I guess. But I can totally see setting a ploy up for the children to go clean their room or snatch them and catch them in a trap of their own making.
Hey man, add it in there. Mark of fatigue on your character sheet, but add that in there, whichever one you think. Social gamers, I think it was.
Okay.
Any other dice? Seem not.
Well, we did get a check mark on some advantage that I think we didn't understand it, but we have one.
Do we do or we don't?
I don't know. I have a checkbox at advantage because we earned one for something.
Where is that, John? Oh, below?
Yeah, but I don't know if we discussed what that was.
So you can add a 1d10. Like if you that's the advantage. So if you wanna uncheck that and add the advantage.
Yes, I would like to live. And then acquisitions.
Do you have any that you would be surrendering? Do you have any survival gear?
I've got climbing gear, and unless we're talking about using the rope and the grapple for a trap.
Yeah, why wouldn't? I mean, like maybe to get to the top of a building where the shaft has collapsed, so no one would be able to follow you up there.
Okay, and that's just a 1, and then I remove it.
Correct. 1d4.
Yeah.
So you're able to get up the. So Bobby or Edgar, did you fail as well, there, Edgar? Did you both fail?
Yeah. Both failed, yeah.
You, for what it's worth, Candice, you earn a 1d10 advantage dice for any roll coming up in the battle, right? So you also earn followers. So you get 10 new boxes of followers.
Ooh, now here's the OCD question. Do you go across the top the whole way, or do you start filling boxes vertically?
Oh, I'm going to leave that up to you and your OCD. So each competitor who succeeds earns half that amount. Competitors who support or fail in the contest mark 1 new follower box. So Bobby and Edgar, you guys get 1 follower box each. Versus Candice, the really, really earned a lot of fans kind of scaling up that wall. Bobby, why don't you give us a quick talking head explaining how the lay of the land, how Bobby's managed to find a perfect hiding spot, but why don't you give us a bit of an update on you and Edgar?
Bobby didn't find a perfect spot, did he?
No, he didn't.
Bobby failed dismally to find anything.
Fail, yeah.
Well, I looked around. It's just a city. This is a foreign concept to me. I'm usually, halfway up a mountain. I could hide in bushes. I can hide in trees. I can trap stuff. And what happens? We pick the only place in an island, which is a city, completely foreign to me. I look around to complain, and my teammates just disappeared. Can't find him.
So we come back, and so we see kind of like, Bobby and Tim scrambling around a little bit, trying to figure out what's going on and how they're going to survive or what they're going to do. Candice, do you have any weapons, or are you just hiding on the roof?
I have a close range.
Oh, you just have a knife. Okay. All right, so let's move into the scramble phase, because during the scout phase, Candice was able to find somewhere to hide. You two were not, right? So you two, Edgar and Bobby, are you actually hiding somewhere and just not hidden very well and not hidden from view so someone would be able to find and see you? Or are you still moving around trying to find a spot? What are you guys doing?
I feel like I would stand out and I'd just be running from side to side in the road, behind a lamppost. No, that doesn't work. Garbage can. No, next thing. And then I might call out to Candice really loudly, because I can't see her.
What are you calling out to Candice really loudly?
Where is she? Because I can't find her.
Candice, are you willing to give your position and location away, or are you just like sitting on top there, like minding your own?
I'm going to take a look around first, and then be like, Bobby, up here. Bobby, no, up here.
Bobby, did you see?
Yeah, I think I just follow the noise and have a look. Oh crap!
I can't find that direction. I just start going.
Oh yeah! Now I totally lock in now.
Following the sound of your one true love. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Piece of cake. How'd you get up there?
What, you think chasing 6 kids around is easy? No, you have to learn the technique. You have to be able to spring out like a tiger, capture them, and get them to pick up their rope. I use this rope, and I throw it down.
Do we all want to be in one place, or do we want to be spread out a little? If we're doing guerrilla tactics, we need to be somewhere where we can reach one of them, though, right? I'll reach them.
Unless you're planning to
knock them up.
it feels to me like Candace may be just looking to sit this out, right? I mean, and again, like half of the people are going to survive, right? So it feels like Candace isn't really gearing up for an assault or a life or death combat, given this, just has a knife and he's on top of a building. So I guess Edgar and Bobby, what is your plan? And again, mechanically, let me kind of walk you through how this works. So this is the second stage. This is the scramble stage. The competitors and their opponents collide. Betrayals and trysts are revealed, and your competitors strive to take control of the chaos. There are 2 contests during the scramble stage, and each competitor player may only participate in one or the other. Each competitor player chooses whether their competitor will participate in the contest to defend against threats or join the contest to seize control of the battle, deciding the fate of those present. So let me kind of summarize the situation and let you know what will happen in kind of either circumstance, right? And so assuming that you want to go the defensive route, so people are going to converge on your position, right? So you don't know how many at the moment, but you're starting to hear some noises as you guys have been running around and Candace has been climbing to the top of the building. You're starting to see, maybe some sign off in the distance of movement or whatever. Maybe you can hear some shouting, you hear some gunfire for sure. There are some vehicles that you've heard moving around. So, no one's come within eyesight of you at the moment, but, it really is going to go one of 2 ways, right? If you're caught here and there are a bunch of, if you're caught and outnumbered by other players, you're going to either have to defend yourself or kill them, but it's going to be like a pretty bad showing for Bobby with no gun, especially if the other side has more. Right. So, you really only have 2 choices, right? It's either fight with them or try and defend or maybe hide or not come into direct conflict with them. So how do you guys, and again, bearing in mind, you can only defend or seize, how do you plan on going at this?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've got all the guns, so I guess I'm going to be doing the fighting.
So, Tim, can I assume that you're somewhere a little bit higher up? Like you couldn't hide fully as Candace did, but you're on maybe the 2nd or 3rd floor and you're, got weaponry pointing down or looking below. Like, walk me through where you are going to be setting up your ambush or your defensive position.
Yeah, I mean, that makes as much sense as anything. Be on like the 2nd or 3rd floor. A small enough window to see out, but not take as much fire from, and just hope for the best. Someplace maybe with some furniture to stack in front of a door.
So, beautiful, thank you. So I feel it feels a little bit like, tell me if I'm wrong, but it feels a little bit like Candace and Bobby are going to be defending and you're going to be seizing. Is that, based on the descriptions I gave you earlier, is that fair?
Works for me.
Is that Candace and Bobby, does that work for you?
Sure.
All right, so let's have you both make a check here, and you can decide how you're going to be surviving this onslaught of people coming in. If it's going to be, if it's going to be by playing dead, by running from room to room and staying ahead of them. Look at your challenge abilities and let me know what you think. And from my perspective, I mean, you can go with Deathmatch, right? We're not quite there yet, but you can go with Deathmatch. But I think this might be something more like Snake Node or Challenge Beast, right? Where you'd be able to get yourself in a position where you could help defend or at least hide your way through this.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with Snake because it doesn't matter, they're all the same, but I will fully vert as such. What is our target?
Oh, hold on 1 second. Target number is 8. And again, it's about rolling the most number of dice so you can get the best results, right? Boiled away. So if you can take a fatigue at this point and roll another dice, this would be the time. This could end badly for you if you don't roll well here, because the next stage after this is the Battle Royale stage itself, right? Where the guns start going off and people start screaming. So this is really in preparation for that and making sure you're in the right place. So again, probably a good time to earn fatigue if you've got any fatigue to spare. So you and Candace, this could end like horribly for Candace. We'll see. And Candace, mark one new follower on your sheet, please. If you could, Bobby, if you could make a roll, right? So we're in the second part of the battle royale. First phase is the scout phase, right? And you kind of tried to find some places here. It's either seize or defend, right? So you and Candace with no weapons are really defending, whereas Edgar, who still has some guns, is going to be trying to seize this position when it comes to the battle royale. So let's have you make a check, and you can decide what it is, right? And narrate it for us. Like, this is about you hiding or getting into a position where you can survive the onslaught. So snake mode, challenge beast, deathmatch, whatever you think is appropriate.
I think we can build up enough to be able to fortify somewhat and stay in here with enough food to look after us if there's plenty of stuff prior. Do we have a target number?
Yes, 8.
Can I use my goat farmer in terms of stocking up and just making sure we're out of the elements and not visible? And
if you take a fatigue, absolutely.
Not sure what other capabilities.
You have to take fatigue to add your occupation die as well.
Can I use my advantage for this instead of the last one? I didn't use it on the last one. Sorry.
You can, yeah. And Tim, sorry, it's the stage after occupation.
Yeah, I thought it was the adding a second capability thing that added fatigue.
Yeah, my bad. Thank you for that.
No wonder we're not winning. GM's over here fucking cheating.
Sounds about right.
Again with the 15.
Yeah, I rolled a d10 with that.
He did 10 and a 5.
Yeah, see, that actually adds up there with that 15. Okay. Yeah, that actually, so fucking bizarre how this works.
You get to add, by the way, 8 new boxes of followers. You're very popular with the crowds. I love it. All right, so give me 1 second here to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so each player who succeeds may stop one threat from happening, right? So there was a large group that was actually descending on you that was coming from the kind of the northwest, right? So you hadn't interacted with this group previously. But they've been ambushed they've had their ranks decimated by a bunch of smaller groups along the way. So they've made so much noise that they've just had people picked off. So this group that had been one of the threats that was coming your way, a large group of competitors, again, 2 separate groups ended up going against each other, and that group did not get here. So, it's kind of lessen the threat that's incoming or lessen the danger that's coming your way, or it may make it easier now for Edgar to make the seize roll. So, by the way, this sets these stakes for the Battle Royale, Tim, right? So, let's have you figure out, this will be a combat roll, right? So I'm guessing this one would be deathmatch, unless you can think of a way to talk me through how you'd use another ability or another die.
No, deathmatch works.
All right, you don't have any acquisitions. So do you need anything from me to make that roll, Edgar?
Target number? This is just, are we keeping the 8?
Yes, 8.
And office assistant not helping here. I'll take a fatigue and try to add snake mode since I'm hiding and trying to use the windows to be sneaky about this.
Yeah, beautiful.
And since this is, I guess this is setting up, I'm not actually using my weapon, so I'm not adding acquisitions here, yeah?
Correct. Yeah. Oh, very nice. You also get 8 boxes of followers for that. So you set yourself up really, really well, right? And this comes in later into it. Once we've done the Battle Royale, this depends... So there's like a matrix of outcomes, right? So competitor players lose the Battle Royale, competitor players win the Battle Royale but lose the Seize contest, or the competitor players win the Battle Royale and win the Seize contest. So you won this Seize contest, right? So going into this, it means that you're actually in a very, very good position where you are, right? And you're high enough up and you have enough ammunition. You feel pretty confident about going into the actual, the final step of this, the final stage of the Battle Royale contest. So nicely done there, Edgar and Bobby. You sucked, Candace, but you are in the best position. So the conclusion of the island. This is always a deathmatch contest, but a second die from a bonus capability can be included for free. Or you may include a die for another capability by paying for fatigue as normal. So this is, this is kind of like for all of the marbles, right? So you get to add another capability in here without it being fatigue worthy. So this is always going to be a death match, but let's have you all roll again, like one at a time, and see how you get through this death match. So roll for this.
So, trying to go through this, I now have my fatigue max.
So next up will be an injury. Now, you lose some of the fatigue in between islands, right? So again, out of game. So you really, this is the last roll that you would be making. So if you had to take an injury because you wanted to add something to it and you didn't have the capability, it would totally be worth doing.
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking through here. I don't see if it's one target number for everyone or individual target numbers. So I am going to roll, if you're okay with it, I'm going to roll all of them as being individuals. Who's up first, by the way? Who's going first on this?
Edgar will go first.
Okay.
Since we're all doing this individually, is this something that we can still burn trust on with the group, or is that not copacetic for the Battle Royale role?
No, I'm going to say it is totally copacetic because you're working as a team, right? And again, I might find out later that I'm doing the rules incorrectly, but okay, so be it. So if you want to burn trust on this, have at it.
Okay. Seems like the time to blow everything if you can. So
smoke them when you got them, right?
But yeah. So what is the target number here for Edgar?
Oh, for you, it's 7 again.
Oh, 7. Okay. An office assistant not helping. Not a great occupation here. So we automatically get to spend a second capability without fatigue. How do you enter in a third one then here if you do want to spend it and spend fatigue?
That would be, I think there's an open box on the next one where you can do a 1d6 plus 1d4 plus 1, etc.
Oh, other dice, okay. And we can spend the acquisitions then here since I have firearms?
Correct. Yeah, and you might want to spend, I don't know if there's an upper limit, but again, Battle Royale, go for it. If you want to spend all of them because you're emptying your weapon completely, have at it.
Oh, do we not get to take acquisitions into the next phase? Or to the next island?
No.
All right, then.
I can say that out of game, but you wouldn't know that as a competitor.
Oh, true.
15.
Yeah.
How's it keep it? It seems very whatever, 6 plus 5 plus.
I don't know how that works.
I do understand that. So there's when you roll some of the others like acquisitions and so on, it's 1d4, right? And it keeps in addition to keeping the normal dice, it keeps it the top one of the 1d4s you roll as well. So meaning if you roll 3 3d4. You would keep the top of the 1d4 and add it to the top 2 you would normally keep anyway. So that's how you're getting that. That's why it's a 6 and a 4, 6 and a 5 and a 4.
Gotcha. So I think for acquisitions, you just put in the number and not the d4, because I did that with my first roll and it didn't count it. I think that's what screwed up the way it read the roll.
Okay.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Okay. Hey, congratulations. So we will come back to that in a moment because we're going to see how the other two do and whether they get through this. So this is deathmatch time for... who's up next? Is it Bobby or Candace?
I can go. Candace is winning. You said it was 7, or is that just because he...
Oh, let me roll for you again.
Oh.
Sorry, Candace, is 8 for you.
right. Occupation, probably not helpful. Fatigue.
Bobby, don't you also have a 1D? Sorry, Candace, don't you have a 1D6 as well? Sorry, an advantage, like a 1D10.
Yes, I do, somewhere. Yep.
Yeah, it's on your character sheet.
So when do you have the advantage? Do you just like pick when to use that once and then take away the advantage, or do you get that on every roll?
No, specifically for Candace, it was during the scramble phase or the scout phase. Whoever won there got a 1d10 advantage they could use at any point during the battle.
Gotcha.
And then I'm defending.
So once it's used, it's gone?
Correct.
Sorry.
Yeah, I unchecked that.
Okay.
Boom. Check 11.
Beautiful. Let's give you... So, Candace, I walk us through... This is your talking head moment. So talk us through, like, there's a desperate battle going on below, and you can hear screams, and Edgar's firing. You can tell the sound of a gun being fired from inside of the building, from outside of the building. So, Candace, give us a little bit more color as to how this battle unfolds for you.
Well, we're sitting there looking at the people running around. I keep losing sight of Edgar, and then I see one guy pass underneath. He's taking a suspiciously long time trying to decide what he wants to do. And I think that's my moment. Go all Splinter Cell-like and just rope rappel down the tree or whatever I climbed up into, upside down with the knife right under the throat. Realistically, I probably just follow the tree and landed on the crushed spine.
Yeah, it's cutting back to, and again, I during the next phase of this, we'll talk about what's really going on here. But somewhere there's footage of you giving this talking head, and it's followed immediately footage by you kind of falling exactly, right, and landing on someone's head. So you broke a few necks of bad guys beneath you, but it was more by luck than by judgment.
Oh, that actually explains the injury that I just picked up too, so.
Very nice. You have a twisted ankle, or maybe a herniated disc, who knows. All right, Bobby, over to you. Bring us home. Walk us through the Battle Royale and how it unfolds from our simple goat herder who came from Appalachia by way of Afghanistan.
Hey, while everybody else is shooting and blasting at each other and concentrating on the noise, I'm trying to go around anyone that's sort of on their own and pick them off with rope traps or rope pulls or something. And then there'd be hand-to-hand combat, I guess. With a knife. And then
you have a target of 7.
7. Oops. 7. Okay. And I have one more fatigue before injury. Can I use the rope to help me out with this from a point of view of
100%,
setting up snares, traps, and stuff like that?
Yeah, 100%. Why not?
What would that
would be a
be
D4.
in terms of?
That'd be an acquisition.
D4.
Be a 1d4.
Yeah, so just put 1 in the acquisitions box.
Okay, so not the other one, not the other dice. Macro, never mind. Acquisition,
yeah.
got it. So just put a 1 in the the acquisition.
Yep.
Gotcha. That did nothing. The panel's gone. Okay, I'll start again. Talking about 7. No. 1. Okay. Let's put up.
Hey, thank God for that. You get 7 boxes of followers. So it's Bobby, give us your talking head, and then Edgar, I'll explain why I've left you till last. But Bobby, talk us as the audience through the battle from your perspective.
Quiet and the sneaky survive. We didn't have. We were low on weaponry, but nobody needs the sophisticated modern day weaponry. You just need a sharp blade and a quick slice across the throat. Enough said.
Man, you get scarier the more I play with you. You really do. Hey, Edgar, so you're kind of last man standing here, right? So you've got a talking head because you really, I mean, you know, Candice like dropped out of the roof or fell from the roof and killed a couple of people beneath her. And Bobby also took care of a few of them, but like you really did the most damage there, right? So you were kind of the big bad of this situation. So what's your perspective when you're talking to the production crew about it later?
Yeah, there's a cut scene with Edgar jumping out of a doorway as people walk by, and the sound of the shotgun going off, and then someone screaming, and Edgar just laughing maniacally and shouting, "I'll tell your mother you died well." And then it cuts back to Edgar holding a shotgun and laughing and saying, "He didn't die well. I shot him in the ass."
I think that may have been my favorite talking head of the season so far. So, there's lots of noise, right? And you're not really sure how long this goes on for. But like, you know, as it starts to get towards dusk, the klaxon goes off again, right? And you know, the klaxon goes off and is followed by a happy jingle that plays over the speakers. So you have completed the island. A voice comes on and says, "You have completed phase 2. Congratulations on staying alive. You may proceed onwards." You get instructions to return to your initial transport together with any remaining members of your team, which is all of you, where a celebration feast will await you. So if you remember, you landed on the fishing village, right? So you're expected to go there where a feast will await. The voice reminds you, or the voice lets you know, that deviating from these instructions will be met with immediate corrective measures, whatever that means. You're fatigued, you're wounded, you're dazed. The sun is setting as you make your way back to the fishing boat with its 2-stroke outboard motor. The boat has been stocked up with supplies, blankets, first aid gear, fresh water, and MRE rations in silver foil packets. There's even a few cans of beer, soda, and some chocolate bars. You're instructed to push out to sea immediately and follow the buoys to the next island. There's a piece of paper and a plastic slip for each of you, a list of trust-building questions. And I think you may see those in your journal. Yeah, do you see those trust-building questions? Or trust-building questions?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Trip takes several days. You lose track of exactly how long. The little boat plunges over mountainous swells and through driving rain. You deal with your wounds as best you can. You talk, you try to west. You take turns operating the outboard motor. Put this scene on the between island scene. Oh, I thought there was going to be a video that would make you nice and sick. All right. It's a harrowing trip. You have no compass, no way to navigate. All you can do is motor through the rolling swell until you glimpse the next buoy and its dimly blinking orange light in the distance. You plunge towards that light and onwards, beyond, nerves on edge as you look out for the next buoy. Every time, just as you lose hope and believe yourself lost, that's when you see the next beacon. Eventually, you see the next island on the horizon and you can try to relax for the remaining hours. There's still enough time to do some trust-building exercises. Trust is key to a successful team. So, a couple of steps that we go through here. Number one is debrief. So I take a moment to update the production sheet, which I've already done. Note down which teams are moving on to the next island. Tim, you are whichever competitive player was best in the final round of the contest. I think that was you, Tim. No, it was actually, yeah, no, it was Edgar. You are leader for the next, for the start of the next island. So there's a couple of like out of game things that we do here, right? So, number one, there's these, as you can see on the screen, right? So there's these intimate conversation prompts. So like last time, each of you asks one of the other players on the boat one of these questions, but can you guys fill it in with a flashback to your real life? So if somebody says, what's the most angry you've ever been? The story that you should tell is something to do with your backstory so that you're all starting to build a little bit of trust with each other. So Tim, you took charge very nicely during that last challenge, and you really did butcher a bunch of people. So you've kind of blooded your face in the way that they do in fox hunting in the UK, and you get to go first. So from those intimate conversation prompts, are they not up on the screen? Yeah, they are. The intimate conversation prompts, take a look at those and ask one of those of one of your boat mates.
Candace, can you tell us about the biggest lie you ever told specifically to one of your children? And did it make you feel ashamed or proud?
Oh, ashamed or proud, that'll be the question. But the biggest lie I've ever told one of my children is, I love you, Wally. But of course, as I've stated in a previous one, Saheem is my favorite son.
I do worry that was a little bit close to home there, John. I hope that's not speaking from true experience with your poor babies there.
Oh, absolutely not.
Please tell me it cuts to me and I go, Saheem is a goat, right?
He doesn't bother lying to him in real life. He's like, shut up, I like your brother better.
Yeah.
Did it make me proud? Did it make me ashamed? It's a wash in the end.
So,
Fair.
Candace, over to you. Ask a question of one of the other two from those. And again, guys, answer it, as Candace said, answer it with a flashback to your real life. Maybe this time walk us through what happened in your real life rather than telling it to us.
What we got here? Well, Bobby, tell me about the time you were charming. Who did you impress and how?
Tis easy. One day, my wife, she wants new clothing, doesn't want to make herself, and have to get material. And so I took my worst goat. You could not sell this goat if you tried, and took it down to the marketplace, and went to 5 different places before I found someone. He was drunk, and still he would not buy it. And I had to turn on all my charm. And when I say all my charm, I washed my hands before I saw him. And in the end, he gave me 1 groat, and I took it back, bought the material, and wife now dresses like a goddess.
Bobby, over to you. Pick one of those questions, and it probably should go to Edgar, but I completely understand if you want Candace to be dragged back to another moment. So pick a question there, and let's have someone give us a flashback as to how that happened.
Edgar, what is the most angry you have ever been?
Well, there's a handful of occasions that probably came up in my life, although a few years back, I do remember I was having a bit of a feud with my next door neighbor. You know, one of those people who just couldn't keep his shit together. You know, you ever have one of those times where you wake up and all of the stuff from his lawn is in the street or is on your lawn, or you wake up and his garbage cans have been spilled and they're all across your porch. I mean, you can picture this, just the absolute chaos that went on for weeks and weeks and weeks with this guy, just building up to it. And I finally realized what I needed to do. And that's when I invested in the Bigfoot costume.
That was beautiful, by the way. That was poetry. Thank you very much for that. Those little flashbacks, I do thoroughly enjoy them. I actually love listening to you guys go through and do this. Everybody mark a trust with everybody else on the boat on your character sheet.
So put them at 1 or add 1 to what we already have?
Add 1 to what you already have.
So I've got 3 with Candace and 4 with Bobby now. And we're clearing, I don't know if you already did it, but between these things, we clear all of our acquisitions as well?
Correct.
Okay. Do we keep the advantages that we got from
advantages you keep, but acquisitions you do not.
Cool.
So first step was that debriefing, right? And then kind of talking through what happened on the island, how, Bobby got away, or Bobby was doing like commando butchering in the background while Edgar was just raining lead down on top of people, and Candace was sliding down a rope and burning his hands as he landed on people. Next step was the trust building exercise. Next is the theory crafting. So going in turns, and I'll walk you through what the theory types are. Give us a theory about what's going on with Deathmatch Island. Right, and I'm making notes of this, so this isn't quite as esoteric as it may seem. This is useful for me for the next session. So let's go Edgar first. The four theories are political project, any theory that points towards Deathmatch Island being a secret government conspiracy, perhaps it's a military program or some shadowy intelligence agency scheme, or it's tied up with the Illuminati. Entertainment, theories that indicate this is all about entertainment and revenue, reality TV, entertainment for the mega wealthy, or a new form of subscriber-based streaming content. The next one is big experiment. So any theory that points towards Deathmatch Island being some kind of scientific experiment, psychological research, an academic program gone wrong, or an investigation into something even more esoteric. Lastly, weird. Theories of the strange, improbable, or supernatural. What if your memories from before Deathmatch Island are false? What if the outside world actually lies in ruins? What if this is all work of some incomprehensible extraterrestrial intelligence? What if your memories are implanted and you're actually clones created just to compete in this game? Maybe time travel is involved. So the four theory types are political project, entertainment, big experiment, and weird. So Edgar, and again, you guys have got days in this boat together. Edgar, what's your theory about what's going on?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. This is all... It's all just put on by the cabal of elites who run the world. They know the world's going to end, and this is the selection process. They're picking out the best of us to breed, to reignite the human race. You're going to get stuck in a hole for maybe like 1,000 years, and when you wake up, you're going to have your own fuck palace, and you'll just be making kids and reuniting humanity.
Man, I feel like you had a bunch of them there. Was that it started out as political project, but it ended up as weird when you started talking about the harem. So I'd let you have both if you wanted, but where were you going with that?
I think I was going to go more weird, yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so Candace, coming back to you, what is your theory about what all of this is about?
Oh, no, this is entirely entertainment-based. I mean, I can't foresee doing anything this extreme unless it were for my wife or Saheem. So this has got to be 100% entertainment. But on top of it, I mean, there's a lot of followers. Are we fully aware of the followers, or is this just something...
You are. You have what?
Outside. Okay.
I don't know if you remember.
That's right. Yep. That's right.
Sorry, it does a little ticker tape. I didn't mean to talk over you, but it does a little ticker tape thing every time you get more followers. So you're being kept up like in the moment.
So this definitely has to be, I mean, come on, my cousin Ahmed in India has been telling me about all the bot farms that he's a part of. I mean, he's making good money with this. And it's got to be entertainment and subscriber base. I wouldn't be surprised if later we start getting extra benefits if we earn subscribers. But yeah, this has got to be for the money, just like the Running Man. Except we're not prisoners, because I don't think I did anything illegal.
You never know. Again, who knows? Excuse me. Who knows which of your memories are real and which may be implanted at this point? So, Bobby, over to you. What is the goat herder's big theory?
I feel like they'd ask him a question like that, and he'd look at them and just be, What? What's internet? What's? I've heard of TV, that thing where people inbox, and I wake up one morning, my arm hurts, and I'm in a boat heading to Ireland. I just want to get back to my goats.
So you have no theory about what's going on, like, because they're talking about why you're, like, again, who brought you here or what this is all about. So Bobby's just so caught up in the moment that he's not really thinking about what it is. He's almost like having, I don't say PTSD, but he's having like some adverse reaction and just thinking about getting home. Is that fair?
I feel like he's just honestly been ripped off the side of a mountain and doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, fair comment. Okay. All right, I'm putting another one down there as weird, and you can like it or not. All right, so next up is jury votes, right? So each competitor records jury votes for their competitor. Sorry, each competitor player records jury votes for their competitor. Outbrave, outsmart, outtalk, and outlast. These are the virtues that a good Deathmatch Island competitor is meant to embody, and your fellow teammates award them to you. So we're going to go around, and you can ask the other players, including me, what jury vote we're giving your player or your character and why. Each player gives you 1 vote, so there are 3 other players who'll get 3 jury votes. The players don't have to agree on a single category. They have a free choice of what to vote you. After you've done all the jury votes, each competitor player marks 1 advance on their competitor sheet. As you complete, you continue to improve. So we go around, and again, like we'll go back the other way. Bobby, we're starting with you. So you get to ask, including me, you get to ask the other 2, did you outbrave, outsmart, outtalk, or outlast? You've got to have one of those 4 for your overall performance in the game.
So I pick one of those?
No, you ask us. Like, so you go around. So you're awarded those by other people.
No. Oh, there is. Yeah, sorry.
Towards the bottom.
Oh, well, no one outtalked.
Wait, Matt. Sorry. You're asking other people, right? So you go around and you ask, like, Edgar, what he thinks that you did out of those.
So I don't prompt. I just say which of the 4.
Correct.
And where are these listed? Are we looking at a handout or something?
No.
Yeah, the jury votes at the bottom of the character sheet. A third of the way up. 4 grey boxes.
I see it now. Okay. Yeah.
Take up half the sheet on the left-hand side. Well, in which case, I'll go to you, John. How do you think I did?
Oh,
which area?
You have outbraved us with the tenacity you have shown.
With the jumping off side of mountain.
Yes. The resolve you show to make it to the top of the radio tower.
And breaking of boxes.
You do it better than no one else.
So are we looking for just that, or are we looking to try and get...
No, that's it. This comes up further on, like after the next island, right? So again, like let me just kind of run through this. So Candace gave you the vote. Edgar, what do you believe that Bobby was? Did he outbrave, outsmart, outtalk, or outlast?
Oh. Yeah, I guess I would go out brave again. He did climb down the side of the fucking into the gorge to get all the shit for us.
Yeah. You know, I would go with that as well. Like, so that I think that's 3 votes for you there. So let's go over to Candace. And again, like I'll just run through rather than making everyone nuts. So, Bobby, what do you think Candace did? Which of those 4 categories was Candace in your mind?
She certainly... Well, she was the only one that could bed in and hide in the city and feel like she's got that sorted. But above that, I think she outtalks everybody else. Can I give her 2? Go vote in 2.
Perfect. What about you, Edgar? What's your take on Candace?
I mean, I was going to say outlast for hiding on the roof through most of it until it was her time.
I would agree. I would also give 1 to Outlast. All right,
So I'm marking 2 in Outlast and 1 in Outtalk.
Correct.
Okay.
Last but not least, Edgar. I'll go first here. I think given the butchery there, I would say it was out brave, right? I think there's no out butcher, so I think it's out brave. The fact that you kill so many of them. Candace, what would you say about Edgar?
Edgar, I gotta say Outlast, the tenacity to go towards the end, face danger with that, gunning people down in the streets left and right.
Bobby?
Is this in character or is this as plan?
Whichever way you want to go with it.
Okay. But in terms of Bobby, you would say outsmart. He's the only person that can use a gun, knows what the business is. But if we're not doing that, I would give Outlast and out talk again. In terms of Bobby, he would just everybody wants to talk. Bobby just wants to go home. Really, Outlast.
All right, beautiful. All right, so given where we are, I think this is probably a good point to go. So you guys are coming in. So again, like oh, by the way, wounds. I forgot about that. So recuperating, here we go. Clear 2 fatigue and what does that leave everybody with in terms of fatigue?
I've got 1 fatigue after losing 2.
I would have 2.
I've got 2.
Hey, so there was what are called small luxuries in the boat. So I'm marking 1 use of those, and you will get to clear another 2 fatigue. So hopefully that takes you like back to kind of back to the start, right? So you guys, a couple of days in the boat, as mentioned in that thing that I read you, it's a bit of a choppy journey, and you've just been following these buoys. But now you're coming in and you're starting to see land right up ahead of you, right? So Island 2 is just up ahead. So what we will do is we will pick a landing spot for you, and that's where we'll call it or draw it to a close for the evening. So Edgar, you are still the leader because of your role in the Battle Royale. Excuse me. So if you look at the map on the screen, I don't know if you guys can move Can you move the pin? Let me move that.
No, I can't.
1.
Okay. So
Pin on the south side of the island.
Yeah. So there's only a couple here. There's 3. So Tim, pick a landing spot. Are you coming in at the business park, the water treatment facility, or the Canal 12C access? I'm not sure what this says. Access Gallo, I think it is, or access gate. So those are the 3 spots in Island 2. Where are you coming in?
Water treatment facility.
All right, beautiful. All right, so give me just 1 second here.
Yeah, I think it's just a shame that we miss those weeks in between the sessions, because I feel like this is a system that as you like get the feel for the flow, it starts moving quicker and becoming even more fun.
I agree completely. I'm really sorry about the last couple of weeks. So
no, it happens. It's just like even just like figuring out the roles again. I was like, I know we did this, and I just don't fucking remember how it works.
Yeah, I totally get it, and feel the same way, right? I thought this again was like moving along at a really nice clip. So I apologize for the weeks in between. All right, so you're coming into the water treatment facility, and again, we'll come aboard here, but this is where we'll draw it to a close for the evening. So this is sitting astride the river as it opens to the surging sea. Oh, sorry, sitting aside the river as it opens to the surging sea is a sprawling facility of industrial buildings, concrete canals, rushing water, pipes, and tubes. A Deathmatch Island channel terminal welcomes you to the island. So your first impressions are the roar of the water, the smell of chlorine. You see what look like a network of poles and tunnels. There's echoing sounds, rippling light reflected off the water. So you're coming in and it's dawn, right? So you've been going through the night. It's been 2 days as you've been journeying to get here. So you're coming into the water treatment facility, and you will be coming in at dawn. So again, rather than run through and run long, we'll draw it to a close here for this evening, and we'll pick this up again next week, hopefully without any interruptions. So we will pick up maybe. I know it's a little bit later than planned, but we'll pick up at 8 next week, local time, and I'll put that in Discord so we know where it is. And we will try, not exactly to tread water, but we'll try not to get you killed before you join us. Does that work?
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, as always, thank you very much. I shall speak to you all through the week. And for anybody that tuned in, I hope that you had fun. Gentlemen, thank you all for playing. I had an absolute hoot. I shall speak to you next week.